All right, folks, look, this is what we're gonna do today. Check it out. I got a little smile on my face because this right here is close to home for me. I like Shrimp Creole. I'm finna show you guys, and I'm finna ask you guys to talk to me down in the comment section below. How come everybody don't know what that is? You know what I mean? If you like shrimp, you like them Louisiana Southern type of flavors, then you gotta like this. And if you don't know, now you know. Let's get it. Okay, so look, there is a little prep involved with this, right? But anything that's good is, you gotta do a little prep. And that's almost really not the case, because sometimes I only have like a few ingredients, and I tell you guys, sometimes simple works. It does. So what I'm doing is right now, I'm getting ready to cut these up. Right, I just cut a little bit off. I'm gonna let you know that I was raised this way. My grandma would say, all of this is good. Now, I'm gonna set this off to the side before I do anything else, because I need to rinse these and get these, get these clean. Now, let's go ahead and work on this bell pepper. Now, you guys do your bell pepper however you want to. Remember, whatever I'm cutting off, I save. See how this doesn't have that little ring in the inside right there? This is good bell pepper. This is good bell pepper. I save these, and because I cook almost daily, you know what I mean? I go through bell peppers. I have so much of this. Sometimes when I do something, especially when I'm cooking for myself, this is what I use. Now, you guys cut this open the best way you can. I mean, well, whatever's familiar with you. I do it all kind of different ways, so I just do whatever I feel like at the time. Right, so I just usually cut that web out, reach in here like this, and take that. If you guys ever want to save or start your own, bell peppers in your garden, you can. There you go, there's your starter kit. Now we got to clean up the back. All right, so once you do that, now you got a little bit of a little cleanup in here too. I call this like the web, This is where it connected everything to the center. I just like to cut that out of there, right? And plus, to be honest with you, yeah, if you've been following me through my journey, my grandmother taught me as much as she could or how she cooked, and that was cool. But then when I started doing things on my own, especially in that latter part of my life, this right here tastes it gives you a little bit of a bitter taste to it. So that's why we clean this up. Now, I'm gonna take this, just cut this off, and just for video purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut some small ones, right? So if I just cut it this way, just give you a little bit right now. You gotta do it however you want to do it. You can do them this way. You can cut them long if you want to. If you want to work with like a little bit of a longer piece, you do it however you can in the safest way, right? But I'm gonna grab these right here, and I'm just gonna show you. Now, in here, I like to have a little texture. So when I go ahead and do my dice, look at the size of the dice, right? That's because I want to be able to have a little taste, and feel it. Like I don't want it to completely disintegrate. We're gonna do it both ways, because remember, the smaller it is, it's for the flavor. And when it gets a little bigger, it's for texture and flavor. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do my onion, right? So let me just bring this here. We got a little peeling to do. Let me go ahead and get this peeled back a couple of layers, and let's dice this. All right, so now we'll just go ahead and cut these down. So they look kind of crazy, but if I go in here and work them like this with my fingers, you'll see that they are diced. They're just diced on the layers. Most of this is gonna disintegrate. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and use the right word. I wouldn't use that word disintegrate as the proper verbiage. It's gonna melt, and infuse, everything that we make it. Then, like I say, if you want to cheat and your skills are not that great, you can always. Only people, probably would say something to somebody like that's been trained as a chef. All right, so I went ahead and, washed my celery. Normally I do all that, before, but I just saw that I didn't. Celery usually tells you when you get it from your local market, they usually have a little dirt on it, but I done cleaned it all up. Now, let's go ahead and cut this down. All right, everybody, this will be a great time for me to talk about today's sponsor, Home Chef. They make dinner crazy easy. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and foolproof recipes straight to your door. You pick what you want, you swap your proteins if you need to, and boom, dinner is handled. I tried one of their oven-ready meals. It comes in this oven-safe tin, less mess, less cleanup, and more time to cook your favorite meals. Plus, they've been rated #1 in convenience and taste. And trust me, I can see why. Everything comes out fresh and on point. So look, if you're trying to make your weeknights easier, right? All you gotta do is hit the link down below, use my code, that's AB50, to grab your special offer from Home Chef. All right, let's get back to this recipe. Okay, so look, I wanna show you this part because we're getting ready to cook, and this is a very, very fast dish, to prepare, right? So if you look down here, we done already did our, our prep, right? I got the Holy Trinity, it's right here. check this out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need butter. So look what I do. I take my butter, because I took the time to go ahead and pre-measure everything, right? So we got butter. I'm gonna put this right here, because this is my infused olive oil. We're gonna give it just a little bit of help. Make sure we don't have no issues about turning nothing brown or nothing like that, right? So after I do this, then we move right over to here to this. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead, let me put a little fire underneath the bottom of here, because we're gonna start with that butter, right? So I'll put this here, we wanna let this melt. I should leave it like this so you guys can just watch that twirl around and melt, but I ain't gonna do that to you. That's enough of that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just add this right now, because I want all this to be a little bit on the warm side. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I know it doesn't make a difference. They say it don't anyway, but the way I was taught is my onions go in first, right? So I'm gonna get some onions, and we're just gonna drop these in here. Remember, having the right tool for the job, right? So I'm gonna just move this around, let these absorb that, these onions absorb some of that butter, right? You just want to give these a little bit of a head start. I know they say it don't make a difference, but again, it's hard to go against. You know, I guess that's like change, right? So what I will say this, I'm getting shorter and shorter each time. Now we come with the bell peppers and celery. All right, so let's keep up with what I was preaching in the very beginning, right? Next, I'm finna come with my garlic, right? I'm gonna put my bay leaf right there, and then I'll come with my seasonings. Then I got wet back here, and then we're gonna have a little water. So I just started loading everything up. This way I'm not looking through my cabinets and none of that, right? So now I'm finna put the smile on my face, folks. If you haven't gotten yourself one of these, I'll be still so you can see it. Get yourself one. Cut down on all of that minced and you know, working with your hands and all of that. You know what I mean? Just, hey, why not keep it simple? And then look, if you can see, this is a big garlic clove. You know, it just takes it, right? We just push that in there like that. Now, I want to show you this little trick right here. I'm going to move this around, then I'm going to bring everything over here to one side, because when I mince this garlic, I don't want it to burn, right? And because I'm going to be loading it up ones and twos at a time, it will just be normally sitting around, right? So if I take it and I squeeze it like this, look at that. See how it dropped right on top of our trinity? Right? Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the rest of these. All right, so you see how we got it all the garlic, minced garlic on top? Now we work. Now this part right here don't take long, folks. You know what I mean? I just say give it about a minute, then I make sure that it breaks up. But immediately once it hits the hot, you know, pan, you smell it right off the top. As they say where I come from, right off the rip. Now, the next three things I have are just my dry seasoning. I'm gonna add them in here now. You can add them, to be honest with you. I could have done this when I added, you know, my tomato sauce. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. We're gonna cook it in here just a little bit. And then don't forget, if you guys can see, you can look way over here. I always keep my hot soapy water over here so I can wash my dishes as I go. All right, so it's something about, to me, you guys let me know down in the comment section below if you like to add your seasoning here, or would you like to add it once you put the wet in there. When you add it here, it kind of like, you know, cooks it in, and then you can look at the bottom down there. I know I talk about it all the time. For those of you guys that are new and don't know, that's the fine. We want to get all of that. But trust me, folks, once I get everything in here, all of that will be nothing left on the bottom at all. But it's something about cooking it in here, you'll be just fine. You know, it gives it a little bit of a better taste. Tell me, is that in my mind or is that somebody else's mind? All right, I just put a couple of pinches of salt, and here's where I get down. I know some of you guys are gonna say, AB, well, how much pepper do I put? I want you to grind till your elbow get tired. So I want you to take a look at my veggies, but look, you see how I got everything right here? Boom, boom, and let me slide him to the front, because I didn't have him out in the front the first time. That's that W sauce, right? So now we're gonna come here, but look at that. You see, when you cook it in there like that and not add it in later, it gives it a whole nother flavor, folks. Same thing like that black pepper. Now, we're gonna go ahead and add this. Don't forget, folks, quit using forks and all that kind of stuff to get everything out, because if you paying for, or a recipe tells you you need 8 ounces, I don't want to see you guys leave an ounce on the side. So therefore, we always get in here and get a little bit. All right, so now we're just gonna work this around just a little bit. But you can see how we cooking this flavor in here, right? So for those of you guys know, what are we doing right now? Let me know down It's kind of like hard for me to even say that when I say let me know down in the comment section below, because people read the comments and the first thing they're gonna say is, oh, I know, AB, we building layers on top of layers on top of layers. All right, so look, this is what I was looking for. We wanted to boil a little bit, right? Try to use it right. We wanted to roll. Is that what they say? Really, I want to get a simmer. Right now, I like the fact that it's hot. You know what I mean? Remember I showed you guys earlier about the fine and all of that? Let me move this back. Look down there. Let me go ahead and pat myself on the back. You see that right there? Where is the fine? You know where it is. It's all in here. That's what I mean. We building them. You ready? So now we come with the W sauce. Get that nice and hot. Still want to see it. And by the way, I know I haven't invented smell-o-vision as of yet, but I'm working on it, folks. This right here smells incredible. Now we'll just add a little dilution. Now I was getting ready to trick you guys because you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna pour that in there. I was waiting to see if anybody was gonna say something, especially for the people around me. You know we don't use water, so if it called for water, what do? That's right, chicken stock. All right, so now we got the Rio right here, right? So we'll just go ahead and add this to it. Now remember, anytime you guys are using anything that says water, I mean, I guess it could be whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you're making, it might make a difference. But to be honest with you, if you want to level up and you want your flavor to be just like good, you want to know how restaurants do theirs, this is how. I don't even want to say restaurants because I done ate some places and I can tell they didn't, but they season well anyway. But I'm giving you guys the real tips. So let me know down in the comment section below how many of y'all knew that. I mean, how many of y'all, just tell me your tricks. I'll tell you mine. All right, so really I was going to put my bay leaves in, but I'm going to tell you, look down in there. I like to see a little pepper in everything that I make, right? So I'm going to just go ahead and dust this top part. You got to remember, fresh ground black pepper, you guys, takes on a whole different taste when it get hot. I know that because, I'll be on that grill a lot. But this right here is what you want to have. You want to be able to see it, folks. Earlier when I said we're going to twist it until our elbow and our wrist get tired, I really didn't do it enough, but you add it here. Now, I'm going to take my bay leaves. I went ahead and got another one because I really wanted like a big one, and now we'll just add this in here. They rehydrate and then, release its flavor in here also. So I'm going to leave it like this right now, folks, and we're just going to cook this down. I'll probably go for about 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so I haven't done anything, to my shrimp, right? Check me out. I'm finna take some of my Creole kick. You guys know that. Listen, this right here is like #1 bestseller, folks. Look, we just gonna add some of this on here. And the reason I'm doing it now, I could have done it earlier. And to be honest with you, when I make shrimp Creole, the sauce and everything that I put it in tastes so good. You know what I mean? So I don't like to overpower it or just, if I am gonna do it, I'm gonna add something like this, like the Creole kick. Low in sodium, great flavor. And with the sodium and everything that we have in our sauce, it just wakes this up. Now I do it like this and I'm gonna leave them alone. Why? Because this is fleshy. This will absorb that flavor and get it in there deep. Then when we add it to the sauce, you guys know the rest. Boom. Okay, so this has been about 5 minutes. This is nice. Hey, remember we talked about the size of the dice? You see how you can, look at that right there. See how you can still see it and it's been cooking down? That's why it's important. It's still gonna give us a little bit of texture and it's still soft enough, right? It's rendered what it has rendered in there. And all of this has been married together. Been married for about 10 years and they going strong, right? So now, you remember these? Let's go ahead and add them. Everything that come off of them, any wetness, any of that, Creole kick, whatever you guys want to use, but I'm keeping it traditional, So I want to use them Southern type of flavors. Now look, right here is I'm only gonna let the fire stay on low for about 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm gonna watch. This is gonna be a key. You wanna watch your shrimp. As they curl and they start absorbing that color, you don't wanna overcook them. Maybe about 3, maybe about 4 minutes. I'll turn them off and then we getting ready to plate, folks. We'll just let the residual heat cook them the rest of the way. All right, folks, look, I took some pictures of it, try to turn it into a star. Hopefully that's why you guys are even watching this video, right? This right here is just, I'm not gonna use the word over the top. This is just like some good Southern. I'm gonna say, if you've been down south, and you'd had some Creole or Cajun food, this right here would take you back. Not a whole lot of ingredients, but I promise you, it's well worth to try. I just don't think that it gets its just due. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get me some of this right here. Whew, let's just mix a little bit with this rice. Oh, and I'm gonna address this part too. You guys can make it as loose as you would like or as thick as you would like. You wanna talk about a meal, when you see how thick that is right there? Yes, sir. And then we got that, ooh, look at that shrimp. And here, let me just do this. This for all my folks that just like for everything to be refreshing. Cheers, y'all. Oh man, that right there is right. It got the right amount of cayenne in it. And I'm gonna tell you, the real thing is you're gonna have to take this and put this to make it nice and refreshing over your, over your Creole. This does something, to it. Now, I want you guys to make this, give it a try. For all you guys that like anything with shrimp in it, it's more, you see the name of it's called Creole. That's where you get that tomato base from, right? But this with some rice, you can get, now I did it with white rice. You guys can do this with any type of flavored rice that you would like, but white rice, with a little butter and this Creole feeling right here and these shrimps, I promise you, you don't overcook them, this will be your new favorite dish. Now, with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below, what would you do? Now, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it like this, and sit down, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.